Hello, fans, and welcome to tonight's Connecticut Hockey Hall of Fame night edition of Hockey Talk. I'm Bob Crawford, voice of the Whale, and it's my distinct pleasure for tonight's Hockey Talk to throw you now to the great Chuck Kaiton, another of the terrific names in the history of Hartford hockey, Connecticut hockey, and the Whaler franchise, talking about some other luminaries in that fine history.
He was one of those guys that always gave the front that he didn't care, that his perfect season would be 50 goals and no assists. Well, he had 56 goals the first year of the Whalers in the NHL, as everybody recalls, in 79-80, and he had many assists. And you talk about a team player and a guy who really, underneath that veneer, did care and care greatly. All you have to do is ask people like Mike Rogers and Ron Francis what they thought of Blaine Stoughton. Well, it all starts with goaltending, as we know in National Hockey League play. And when Emil the Cat Francis was the general manager of the Whalers, he said, we need one. We need a kingpin. We need a guy that can get us over the hump. The Whalers were struggling for a few years to make the playoffs from 1983 until 1986. So Mike Liut was the final puzzle part of, I think, the greatest Whaler team ever, the 85-86 team. Well, he was known as the Little Ball of Hate, captain of the Whalers, and a very good one, and a very intense competitor. And I have to say that Patty's enthusiasm rubbed off on everybody on the Whaler teams he played for. He left an indelible mark because he was such a wonderful player, a compassionate player, a guy that if you needed the big check, if you needed somebody to, pardon the expression, stick his nose into the fray, he would. And he was just one of those players that you wanted to be around. He had a great personality. I'm not surprised that he's continuing on in hockey today, assisting Steve Yzerman with the Tampa Bay Lightning, because he had a wonderful hockey mind. He was also the visionary, and I'll never forget this. Remember this little thing called a skills competition today that the NHL does at the All-Star Weekend? Guess whose idea that was? That was Mr. Barnes's, because in 1986, when the All-Star game was in Hartford, we had the skills competition, or at least attempted to, and did have a variation of it, and it was his idea, and he went to the National Hockey League with it, and I was very, very proud to work for him. Again, a man that really did a great job of marketing a hockey team in a new town and in a new league, and his family should be very, very proud of this honor, because the late Bill Barnes was one special individual.